Welcome to the 5 for 2 podcast with me, your host Adele, where we say no to careers where you're trading 5 days of misery for 2 days of fun. A place we discuss all things career, confidence, and money moves. I want to motivate, teach, and empower ambitious women to achieve more, earn more, feel more confident, and enjoy the work they do. It's all about believing you can have everything you want in your career and then going and getting it. So if you're ready, let's get into it. Hello. Happy New Year. And welcome back to the brand new season of 5 for 2 Careers. How is everybody? Hope we haven't got the January blues. Because, I know that comes sometimes. I hope everyone enjoyed their Christmas, their New Year's, everyone who celebrates, whatever you were doing. I hope it was a good time. I hope you told all those people in December, let's circle back after the holidays. Because, December should always just be a time to start chilling and getting ready to start the new year. Listen, they created this situation with Christmas and everything that goes on in December. It makes us all just want to slow down. But anyway, this episode is going to be short and sweet. Well, it's definitely going to be sweet. I'm not 100% sure of the short because whenever I say that, the episode ends up being a little bit long. However, we're going to get into my job market predictions for 2025, some tips because I'm going to tell you how to navigate it regardless, and some motivation for those who need it. Because I know a lot of you were like, 2024 job market was just too hard. It was wild. So we're waiting for 2025 for things to get better. First thing I want to say to you guys is there is no perfect time to do anything. The perfect time is now. The perfect time is I don't have the things I want, so let me go get it. Doesn't matter what else is happening around you because there will always be something happening around you. There will always be a reason why things are hard. Life will always life. Even when everything feels perfect, something is bound to happen. So just keep that in mind. Anyway, let's jump right into this episode. So 2025 job market, what should we expect? Now, like anything in life, there are no rules. So we really don't know. But these are my predictions. So as we start the new year, I do not think the job market is going to change very much. There are way more people looking for jobs than there are actual jobs available. I think the start of this year is going to be the same as it has been all through 2024. I do think it's going to be harder to land positions just because, like I said, the amount of people that are looking versus the amount of jobs. And just like we are all trying to save our coins in this cost of living crisis, because let's be real, the cost of living hasn't changed. Everyone's trying to save their coins. People are spending less. We're going out to eat less. We're going out to watch movies less. Like we're just going out less. We're consuming and spending less money. So just like we're trying to hold on to our coins, you're trying to hold on to your coins. Listen, them companies, they're doing the exact same thing. They're trying to hold on to their coins. They're trying to have less staff do more work. I'm keeping that 100% real. That's what companies are trying to do because companies are struggling. Not all companies, but a lot of companies. I know you've seen some of these big chains, I'm not going to say the names, but food chains, retail brands that are reporting some of their lowest figures ever. And that has a backlash. That affects staffing because staffing is a company's biggest cost. The amount they pay their staff is their biggest cost. So if they have 3 people doing a job, but they can get 2 people to do that job, and it means they're spending less on their staffing bill, they will. So companies are going to be tight. However, just like in 2024, like I said, just because something's hard doesn't mean it's impossible. I still saw my clients have some huge wins last year. Things took longer, like people weren't getting jobs in the first 4 weeks like I remembered in 2022 and 2021, but they were getting jobs. Maybe it was taking 6 weeks, maybe it was taking 8 weeks. For a lot of my clients, it was taking like 13 weeks. However, we still saw massive wins. I've seen 40k pay rises, 60k pay rises. Some of my clients literally shifted industries. Some of them went from being junior staff to being able to move into management or into like assistant management. They moved into more senior roles that they'd wanted for ages. One of my clients finally got the director role that she'd been wanting for ages. She kept getting to final interviews and just wasn't able to seal the deal. And she stopped looking for a while. She gave up. She said, nope, I'm done. And then she came across me. We started working together. We did a couple sessions. That was it, guys. We did 2 sessions, some Voxer support, and she landed her director role. So like I said, a hard job market doesn't mean your change you want, the money you want. It's not impossible. It just is harder, which means you need to be a bit more sophisticated in your approach, in your strategies. It needs to be a little bit more finesse. My other big prediction for 2025, come closer, listen. AI, it's not going anywhere. I had people message me, ask questions on my Instagram, and they're like, do you think AI is going to take our jobs? Long and short of it, one day maybe. I don't think AI is taking anyone's jobs right now, but I do think, yes, I'm not gonna sit here and say to you, I don't think AI is gonna take people. Yes, AI is gonna make things easier. Just like I said to you, companies are trying to make 2 people do 3 people's work. AI is gonna help them be able to do that. AI means that they're gonna be able to cut workforce and cut staff numbers. But I don't want you to feel like that means doom and gloom. That's a long time coming. Also, AI is programmed by humans. Humans have to have some involvement in AI. So what I want you guys to start thinking about is not worrying about if you're going to lose your job, and instead embrace it. If you can't beat them, join them. How can you use AI in your job? Like a lot of companies now using Copilot, they're giving staff permission to use AI in meetings for writing certain things, for writing newsletters, blog posts, whatever it is. A lot of companies are slowly starting to introduce it. First, they're looking at security because we know cybersecurity and stuff like that is going to increase this year. I think that industry, when it comes to jobs, is going to increase. And although I said the job market is going to be harder, there are going to be some industries that grow, grow rapidly. And I think cybersecurity, anything to do with computing, cyber, that industry is going to pretty much start to grow, but it's going to be more niche. It's not going to be every area of tech that's going to grow. Anyway, back to AI. What I think you need to think about when you think about AI is, how can I get on board? How can I start to learn how to use AI? How can I be one of the people so that when my company is bringing in AI, I'm like, oh, I know how to do that. I know how to do that. And then I can teach all the people. Listen, use things to your advantage. Become an asset. If you see AI coming, instead of running away and being scared of the change, because remember, when you're scared of change and you're not adaptable, companies won't keep you. It's as simple as that. You have to change and grow. Anything that doesn't grow dies. Let's be real. Anything that doesn't keep growing, everything grows. Plants, humans, all of us, we grow. If we don't grow, we wither. We wither. We wither and shrivel up. Plants wither and shrivel up because they're not growing anymore. Or we're stagnant. Companies want growth. AI is going to help them grow. AI is going to help them make more money, reduce their workforce. Of course, we're the workforce. We don't want them to reduce us. But the only way to get on board is to be able to use the AI, to be one of the people who is champion AI, to be a part of what's happening. So be part of the change instead of being outside the change. Don't dig your heels in and refuse to change. Be a part of the change. So how can you utilize AI? How can you start doing, free courses, free masterclasses, understanding how you can use AI in your job? If your job is bringing in AI, be one of the first on those calls. They always do the calls where you can learn about it and stuff like that. Understand, how can you use AI in your job to make your life easier and to make yourself look better? It's just like when my clients come to me and they say, I was using AI and I used it to write my CV, but for some reason, I'm not getting any callbacks. I'm not getting shortlisted. Why? Because you forgot the human element. AI still needs human element. So when you're using AI is great to help you write your CV. Do you know how much time it's going to help cut down if you use AI to write your CV? However, you can't just say it's AI to write the CV. You have to then add a human element, or you have to train your AI to be able to add a human element. So ask AI to make something sound more human. However, the best thing to do is get AI to help you write the basic part of it, and then you add in who you are. What results have you delivered? AI don't know your results. AI doesn't know the career that you've had and all the amazing things you've done. You have to put that into your CV. So use the AI as the foundation and then update it. That's how you'll get shortlisted. But AI will help you cut the time in half. I know none of you don't want to be sitting here for hours writing CVs because you hate it. So AI is a tool. The same at work. Listen, when AI is there and you're doing a meeting and you don't have to take notes because the AI is taking all the notes for you. And then you say to AI, summarize the notes and send it out to everyone. Listen, did that not cut your job in half? PAs, I know you're listening. Executive assistants, I know you're listening. Make your life easier. If your company allows you to use AI, use AI. And remember, you can't just go ahead and install AI in your company laptops or computers. Absolutely not. It has to be allowed. So you need to understand, what is your policy? Yeah. So what is your computer policy? What is your security policy? What is your policy on AI? Different companies have different rules. I know companies are very strict, hardline, no AI, versus other companies are more willing to use it. AI is sometimes scary for a lot of people, because I know you've all heard of AIs cloning people's voices and doing all kinds of nonsense. But again, please remember that it's people behind the use of the AI. It's people abusing what AI can do. But in your jobs this year, 2025, AI is just going to grow. It's just going to get bigger. It's just going to keep getting bigger. It's not going anywhere. So if it's not going anywhere, how can you utilize it and leverage it in your job so that you become the AI asset, the AI queen, the AI king, the AI person who knows what they're doing, knows how to use it, and you become the person that they're like, oh, can you train this person? Can you train this person? Can you support us? How did you use that? How did you use that? Become that person. Jump on board. Like I said, if you can't beat them, join them. So that's one of my biggest predictions. AI is not going anywhere. How can you use it to help you in your career? How can you be at the forefront so that they can see that you are the person who will change and adapt? And I'm not just going to give you predictions and tell you like that the job market might be hard at the beginning and all this kind of stuff without me giving you tips to back it up and to help you navigate it. Because again, hard does not mean impossible. I'm going to keep saying that until you have it in your head, because hard does not mean impossible. When I first changed industries, no experience, no qualifications, it was hard. You guys know, if you're new here, you might not know, but I've shared the story where my first interview, she said to me, you are not cut out for recruitment or human resources. I'll help you get a better teaching job, but this is not for you. I cried my little heart out because I really respected this woman who said this to me. And she was just like, nope, you're rubbish. You're going to be, she interviewed me for a recruitment position and she said, no, absolutely not. You're rubbish. You've been in childcare for too long. And I'd been in childcare at this point for like 10 years. Ooh, I just saw 11:11 on my phone. I had to stop for a minute because, I feel like God's talking to me sometimes. But yes, anyway, amen. She really was like, this is not for you. But God had other ideas, and it was for me. But in that moment, I cried, and it was hard, and I was ready to be like, should I throw in the towel? But guess what? Hard did not mean impossible. Because 2 more interviews later and I had 2 offers. Little old me, who had only ever worked with children, who was only qualified to work with children, was now getting offers from 2 recruitment companies. And I had my plan. I was like, I'm going to leverage this recruitment experience and in 2 years get into HR. And guess what? It took me less time than that. Within 18 months, I was able to leverage the experience I'd got and move into human resources. So don't ever let anyone make you think that because something is harder than what you've done before, that it is going to be impossible, because it's absolutely not. And that leads me on to some of my advice. My advice for 2025, my advice for 2025 and beyond, my advice for life. It is never too late. If you woke up today, there is time. If you were blessed with another day, there is time to achieve the things you want to achieve. We have this thing as humans that, if I haven't done it by this time, I can't do it. Why? I ask this question all the time. Why? If I haven't achieved it by my early 30s, I can't. Why? If I haven't achieved it by my late 30s, I can't. Why? If I haven't achieved it by my 40s, I can't. Why? And then you will see people your age or older achieve it and you'll say, oh, yeah, but that was just luck. No. Did you try? They did. They didn't say, oh, I'm 45 and I can't. They just tried. They didn't say, oh, I'm 35. I waited too long. Why? I worked in one industry for 10 years before I realized, this ain't for me. I started my coaching business in my 30s. I started my first aid company in my beginning of my 30s. I think the year I turned 30 or the year I turned 31. I can't even remember. It was right at the beginning of my 30s. I didn't have a clue what I was doing, but I just tried. Me and my business partner, I started with one of my friends who's also my business partner, who before that had been my boss at my job. Like, You don't know who's going to open a door, where a door's going to open, how you're going to do something. You also can't live by this, oh, it's too late. How is it too late? You woke up today. It's never too late. It might just be that you approach it differently. Too late. When you're saying to yourself it's too late, the truth is all you're saying to yourself is, I can't be bothered for it to wait. Like, I can't be bothered to wait. Sorry. I can't be bothered to wait. I'm scared that if I wait or if I keep trying, it may never happen. And that's a different conversation. That's nothing to do with it being too late. That's your fear talking. Just say, I'm scared. I'm scared to let go of what I have because what if I don't find better? And my answer to that will always be, you don't know the answer until you try. What if you do find better? What if you're on the verge of a breakthrough, but because you didn't try, because you didn't put in a little effort, you don't ever get there. You don't ever see it. I promise you, regret is worse than failure. I've spoken to enough older people. I've seen enough sick people in my life, in my family, people that I love, that have so many regrets. Blame the world, blame other people. But the truth is, blame yourself. Because there is a point where we get to decide. It is not too late. If you woke up today, there is time. The rules are just guidelines. Anyone who's been listening to my podcast since 2021, I've been saying the same thing for all these years. The rules are just guidelines. One of my closest friends said this to me once when we was at work. And because I'm a rule follower, just FYI, a lot of you listen to me and you're like, oh, Adele just does what she wants. Absolutely not. In most areas of my life, I'm quite a rule. Like, if there are rules in society, I follow those rules for the most part. If there are rules, if I go somewhere and someone has rules for, I don't know, their home, their business, I follow their rules. Why? Because they get to set the rules. It's their business. It's their place of business. Like, a lot of you will go to someone's place of business and try and tell them what they should do. Absolutely not. It's just like when rude people, and I find this a lot, people from the Western world, like UK, US, whatever, like just English speaking countries, will go to another country and expect them to speak English. Why? Who do you think you are? Not me, by the way, because I don't expect no one to speak English. If I'm in your country, I'm following your rules. We will go to other countries that have different rules. And I'm not even going to mention the country I've got in mind because it's one of the places I love to go to. But it's not a Christian country and it's not governed by the same rules. But people will go there and expect them to cater to you. No. If you want to be catered to, stay where you are. So I am someone who has some rules in me, but I don't follow nonsense rules. Rules that make no sense. Like rules where someone says to you, if you don't have a degree, you're not going to be able to make it in life. What? Or if you don't have a degree, you can't make six figures. Listen, everyone is not going to afford the opportunity to get a degree. Everyone might not. Like me, I really didn't know what I wanted to study when you're supposed to know at like 16, 17 here in the UK. I really didn't know. I went to night school and I don't even know if I've ever shared this on the podcast. I might have, I don't know. But I went to night school when I was in my 20s to study a course because it wasn't until then I had more of an idea of where I wanted to go. Like, everyone is not the same. But just because you don't follow a traditional route, don't let someone say to you can't be successful. Also, just because you do follow a traditional route doesn't mean like you went and got your degree. Does not now mean you need to work your way up from the bottom upwards. Some people will, some people won't. Some people will literally jump roles, like will fast track their career and go from like a junior to mid-management and then be a director, like kind of skip the other management roles and just become, you don't know what life has in store for you. So these rules, especially in your career, I'm not telling you in life, like the driving rules, they are rules, follow them. They are not guidelines. But when my friend said it to me, she said, rules are just guidelines. The conversation we were having, it kind of just triggered a thought in me. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's right. Because if I had followed the rules in my career, I definitely wouldn't be in human resources or recruitment. Absolutely not. How would I have got into it? Because I would have thought the rules are I'm qualified to work with children, so that's what I've got to do for the rest of my life, even if I don't enjoy it anymore. And that's what a lot of people are stuck in. You're stuck in rules that society have lied to you about. They have told you that the only way to be successful is to follow this route. And then you see about 1,000 other people not following that route. TikTokers, Instagrammers, influencers. You see all these other people not following that route, but you're still telling yourself that for some reason you have to follow that route. Rules are just guidelines when it comes to your career and especially when it comes to this job market. If you keep following the rules, your success rate in this job market is going to lower itself. Okay? Because things are changing. Things have changed. So stop putting rules on yourself that don't exist. Like, who said? And ask yourself that question when you're like, oh, but you have to do this. Who said? Who told you this? Because it's probably one or two people that told you this, and you're now accepting that it's law. Get around people that speak about different things. Get around people that have actually done the things that you are trying to do. And that leads me on to networking, because in this job market, if you want to be successful, you are going to have to start speaking to people. I am a big old introvert. That's why my podcast suits me, because you lot don't see me. I don't do videos. I'm just here sitting, chilling in my like little house clothes. If you're from the Caribbean, you know I'm talking about my house clothes are different from my outside clothes. Anyway, I'm chilling here in my comfortable indoor clothes, just chilling in my house clothes, recording a podcast, speaking to you guys. Now, don't get me wrong. I've been thinking about video and like maybe sometimes I'll record a little video because it is fun. It is nice, get to see the people that you're listening to. However, for now, we staying in this format. And I know you lot have seen me on videos on other people's podcasts, but that's because that's what they do. Like, I know you lot have seen me on some YouTube stuff and like other people's video podcasts, which have been really cool. But I'm just not there yet because, again, I'm an introvert. As much as a lot of you think I'm not, I am an introvert. Some of the things I do, the other day I read like this little test thing to say how much of an introvert are you? And there was like 10 things. I have done all 10. These have included seeing someone you know, but just not wanting to speak and going in the other direction or pretending to be on the phone. This included hiding. As a grown adult, I have hidden for hours. I'm not going to go into it because if my friends listen to this, she knows exactly what I'm talking about. I hid once for hours in a house where there was lots of people that knew me, and they were all out to celebrate me. And I hid, and I could hear them all looking for me, and I continued to hide. Because sometimes my social battery is finished and I'm just done. And my social battery finishes quite quick. Even when I'm around people I love and people I care about and people I enjoy, like at Christmas even, I will sometimes go to my room and lock myself in my room and act like I'm sleeping, but I'm not sleeping. I'm probably on my phone. I'm probably doing other things. I just need to get away from other humans. And that includes humans that I absolutely love and adore. Why? Because I'm an introvert. Work dudes. If I can get out of a work thing, I will get out of it. If I can get out of an outside work thing, I will. But I know that networking is important. So then I plan like, okay, if there's three work things, how many am I going to go to? Even if it's only one, that one, I'm going to make a really good impression. I'm going to talk to the key people. Because that's the thing. A lot of you are introverts, but you're spreading yourself thin. You're just talking to anyone. No, be strategic because we don't have big social battery. Speak to the people that matter. The people that can go and talk to the other people and say like, oh yeah, that was amazing. This person's amazing. We love Louise. We love Charlene. These people are great. Who are the people that have the influence within your company? Go and talk to those people. When you're networking as an introvert, I will not go anywhere to a networking event by myself. No. Who do I know here? If I don't know anyone here, I'm scared. Bring someone with you. It doesn't mean you can't go. Bring one of your friends. Bring someone you trust. Listen, I'm very lucky. As an introvert, all my friends are extroverts. I think I've only got one other introvert friend. Everyone else is a big, old, loud extrovert. It's very intimidating sometimes, but I love them. Because if I say, can you come to this thing with me? They'll be like, Adele, I'm not even interested in this. I'll be like, please. They'll be like, okay. Because my extrovert friends do baby me. They love me. I love you guys too. But find someone to go with. You need to network because just sending CVs, just sending applications, it's not going to work as well as it has in the past. We need to be speaking to people. Also, you need to use networking to find out about the industry that you're trying to go into or about the role that you're applying to. People doing the job are your best source of knowledge. They can tell you, oh yeah, if you're going into this industry, you really need to have knowledge on X, Y, Z. In the interview, make sure you're talking about this. Go and have coffee with people, have virtual chats with people. LinkedIn. I can't say this enough. LinkedIn is a place for career growth, career networking. If you go over there and talk to people, reach out to people, most people that are active on LinkedIn, that's another thing, because a lot of you will be messaging people that aren't even active on their LinkedIn. You've not seen them post or do anything in years, but you're messaging them and saying, oh, see, I've messaged 4 people and no one got back to me. No. Message active people. People that actively use their LinkedIn, you can see they post, you can see they're commenting on people's stuff. Talk to people, send connection requests, ask people if they want to, like, if they would mind you having a quick chat or asking them a couple of questions about the industry they're in. Use that to your advantage. So many of my clients in 2024 got the job because they networked, not to help them just get a job, but actually to learn about the roles they wanted to go into. They got so much insight and so much detail. Guess what? Leadership roles. director roles, senior positions, industry changes. Why? Because you sat down with someone and they gave you even more insight than you thought you knew. Because Google can only tell you so much. YouTube can only tell you so much. Adele can only tell you so much. I don't work in all the industries. I know my industry. I know childcare. I know HR. I know recruitment. I know sales. I know certain things. Bit of retail because I've done retail, but I know certain things. And not even retail. Is it retail when you work in a grocery store? I don't know. Anyway, like I said, networking with the source is everything. Start talking to people, guys. I don't care whether you're an extrovert or an introvert. I'm going to need you to start networking. The way you network might be different based on your personality, and you can tailor your networking to who you are. You don't have to be at every event, because I'm absolutely not going to be at every event. Absolutely not. I'm going to make sure I'm memorable when I do go to an event. Because listen, if you're going to force me to be in an environment that I don't want to be in as an introvert, I'm going to make the most of it. And I think I want that to be my advice for anyone who's an introvert listening. If you feel like you are being forced into networking and you go, please make an impression and make the most of it. Don't go there just to stand up in a corner. Listen, attach yourself to someone if you need to. Or, like I said, speak to the key people and then get out. I'm usually the first to leave any work event. I got to go. When my daughter was young, that was the excuse. I can't use that excuse no more. I've got a whole grown adult. I can't say that. I can't be like, oh, go and look after the kid, go and make dinner. No, but I still found a way to leave. I plan my story in advance and I'm ready to go. Or I'm just like, oh, I'm going to go now. That's it. Because I've done my bit. But network. I need you lot to network. Sorry. I know that was a bit of a rant. I did say this episode was going to be short and sweet, and it's dragging, isn't it? But it's good. It's good dragging. We like it. I'm hoping it's good. Be intentional. I want you guys to really be intentional and focus this year. What you want is available, but you need to commit to wanting it. A lot of you are a bit wishy-washy. You're saying, I want it, but you're not really putting in the effort. That sometimes is a pet peeve of mine. You've been talking about what you want to do for the last 10 years and I ain't seen you make one move. Listen, be intentional, focus. If you want it, commit to it. Listen, I've been saying I want to be a millionaire. It must be over 10 years. I'm still not a millionaire, but you think I'm giving up that dream? You think I'm going to stop saying it? I could become a millionaire at 70 years old. And if I do, amazing. I don't know. But I'm not going to stop saying it. I'm not going to stop wanting it. I'm not going to stop putting that out there in the world, into the universe. I'm not going to stop speaking to God and saying, listen, when is my, how? Maybe that isn't my destiny. But do you think I'm going to tell myself that that's not my destiny? That's my destiny. Millionaire status is my destiny. I don't know how, I don't know when, but it's my destiny. That's one of my big, outrageous goals. Listen, I have small goals, medium-sized goals, big, outrageous goals. But nothing changes because I'm committed to wanting what I want. I am committed to considering why I want these things. Like, why do you really want to be a millionaire, Adele? Not just because you want a load of money. Not just because money helps you feel more secure. Because these things are real. But what do you want to do with that money? Give your goals a purpose. I'm focused on them because they have purpose. Who am I going to help when I have that money? How am I going to help when I have that money? How am I going to understand that money is a tool to be used to help people I love, to help people I don't know, to move in a certain way because of the world I live in? Money, me and my cousin had a conversation. Shout out Charlene, love you. We had a conversation recently. And the one thing we both said was, it's not that we want to chase money. It's not that we care about money. What we care about is the options, the freedom, and the power to say no to things that don't serve you when you have a certain amount of money. When there's money in the bank, you can say no to things. You can say no to the jobs that you don't want, and you can be a little bit more choosy. When there's money in the bank, you have more options, you have more freedom. Money, the more money you have, the more options you have. And that's really what I'm chasing. I'm chasing options. The option to be able to take an Uber rather than drive somewhere might sound small to you, but it's a big deal to me. The option to be able to take 10 Ubers for the week because I just can, because I don't feel like driving. The option to be off work sick when I'm actually sick, because even though the sick pay is rubbish, I've got a little money that can help. Like, I've got a little savings. When I didn't have that option, I would push myself to go to work even when I was falling apart. Why? because sick pay isn't enough and I didn't have the option to not go to work and pay these bills and take care of me and my daughter. So that's what I'm chasing. But I'm committed to wanting what I want and actually going after it. I want you to talk about the things you want, network, and not talk to everyone, because everyone don't need to know what you want. Everyone don't need to know your dreams. Everyone don't need to know everything you're thinking. Talk to people that you actually can trust, but also when people are asking you, people that could actually help you change your situation. Like they're like, oh, where do you see yourself? Or what do you want to do? Talk about it. Even when people laugh at you, you know how many of my friends have laughed at me when I've said some of my dreams? They're like, Adele, let's walk before we try to run. You're doing too much. And I remember it and I log it in my brain and I bank it. Because when I achieve it, you're the friends that want to be like, didn't you tell me to walk before I could run? Didn't you tell me to calm down? Didn't you tell me these things don't happen to people like us? Rest. I love my friends, but we all have our own limiting beliefs. We all have our own thoughts and our own things that limit us. They don't mean to be mean to me, but they don't think they can achieve it. So therefore, why would they think I could achieve it? Because we're from the same place, or we're at the same place in life, or we're doing similar things. So they're like, well, there's no way if I can't achieve it, you can achieve it. Or they just don't think that thing is believable in their world because they've never seen it. But I want you to start talking about your goals, talking about where you want to be. Figure out how to get there. And it's not even always figuring out exactly how. It's just knowing you want it and letting each door open. Because you don't need to see the entire picture to start the painting. And that's what's really important. You don't need to know the entire journey. Like, you don't need to know the end result. You just need to know what the result is that you want to get to and start taking steps towards it. Listen, you might not know all the steps that you need to take, but you at least know the first step. And if you don't know the first step, start asking people. Start saying, like, because sometimes maybe you don't know the first step and you don't even know where to start. That's where networking comes in. Network. Start painting the picture of the life that you want. Stop telling yourself it's too late. And last but not least, in this job market, we need to target these CVs. This is more of a practical one. I've seen some CVs. Guys, these generic CVs aren't working. A lot of you are like, oh, but this CV always worked. 2024, a lot of you was slapped in the face with the reality that the CV you used before just now is classed as mid. Back then it was amazing, but now it's mid. Why is it mid? Because now, again, there are more people looking for the same job that you are. Your CV is not targeted. I recently spoke to someone and she wanted to get into a specific area in her industry. Like, I'll give you an example. I'm in HR, but in HR, there are so many avenues. You could be in recruitment. You could be in like the payroll side of things. You could be in benefits. You could be in ER. Like, there are so many areas within HR. She wanted to move into a slightly different area. Like, even learning and development, like, some people say it doesn't come under HR, it comes under more training, but it does. Like, there are different areas within human resources. She wanted to get into a new area. She's done some of the area before, but her CV not once mentioned that area. She just kept saying HR, like generalizing it. Like, I do HR. No, they want to hear that you do benefits. They want to know all the things that you've done to do with benefits. If you have done disciplinaries and grievances in the role, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for someone heavy on employment law, heavy on helping companies stay legally compliant. Hello, your CV needs to talk about it. It needs to talk about that more than you just generalize and say, I'm a HR professional. Great, you're a HR professional, but what do you specialize in? Employee benefits? Employment law? And if you say to me, I've done them all, Adele, yes, but your CV, if you're applying for a job that cares about employment law, that CV needs to focus more on employment law. Your bullet points should be more focused on employment law than they are on generalist HR stuff, because they don't care. And this is the problem. And I think some of you just need to hear it like that. They don't care. All the things that we're super proud of in our career, they don't care. The company cares about what is relevant to them. Your CV needs to be targeted to show them why your experience is relevant to them. If you have changing industry, I need you to look at your bullet points and say, why would they care about this bullet point? I need you to reduce the amount of bullet points you have under jobs that are not relevant. I'm going to do an episode on what you need to take out of your CVs, because there's some stuff that I've been seeing in CVs that don't need to be in them, and stuff that you do need to elaborate on and make more of. CVs don't have to be complicated, but they do have to be targeted towards the job you're going for. This is my biggest tip. If you read the job advert or the job description and they are mentioning certain tasks, certain duties, certain skills, and you look at your CV and you don't mention those things at all, or they've repeated something 3 or 4 times in a job advert and you don't see those words in your CV is not targeted enough. It's not in your summary, your CV is not targeted enough. They are literally telling you when you look at a job advert, this is what we want. All your CV has to do is tell them how you can give them that. And I know I'm making it sound really easy because I'm not trying to say it's super easy. I don't think that's everyone's talent or their core area. Like, writing CVs was something I took for granted for a really long time. I just thought everyone could do it the way I do it. But I understand that we all have our own zone of genius, and that's not everyone's zone of genius. But what I want to say to you is, if you're going to spend the time to write the CV anyway, please, please, please target the CV, because your frustration is that you've applied to like 30 jobs. I know someone who applied to nearly 100 jobs. Listen, you lot have got patience and time, because I'm not applying to 100 jobs and not getting anything. If I've applied to 10 jobs and I didn't get anything, I'm looking back at my CV. I'm looking at my applications. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing wrong. I'm asking questions. If you need help with your CV, go ahead to either my website or to my Instagram, click the link in my bio, and there is a free CV download. It's going to give you all the basics, whether it's a career change or not a career change. It is going to tell you how to do it, right? If that's not helpful, I've got a whole CV masterclass that you can get from my website. If that's not helpful, do you know how many posts I've got on CVs on how to write a good CV? I've got a whole podcast episode. Like, listen, I hadn't really done a specific episode on CVs, and now I have. So go back, listen to that episode. And if you've given up and you're like, no, I'm fed up, can you just do my CV for you? Reach out to me. Have a CV service. I can help you rewrite your CV so that you can start actually getting shortlisted. But I want you to target those CVs in 2025. It's going to be necessary. Yeah. If you want to stand out, your CV needs to help you stand out. If you want to stand out, your LinkedIn profile needs to stand out. If you want to stand out, your applications. All you need to think about is, will they care about this? When I read the job advert, have they asked for this? Because sometimes you lot are putting things in there they didn't ask for. No one asked. It's not relevant. You're proud of it, but it doesn't matter. I get it. You're proud of it. You should be proud of it. You worked for it. But if it's not relevant to the job that you're applying to, take it out. Anyway, that's me, guys. And that's this episode that I said was going to be short and ended up being over 30 minutes. But shh, we don't talk about that. I tried. Happy New Year. I hope 2025 brings you everything you want in your career, in your finances, and in your confidence. Because more than all of this career stuff, more than all of this money stuff, believing in yourself and feeling confident in exactly who you are is the most important thing. Anyone who works with me knows my coaching program is called Create Your Own Lane, because it's about being who you are, standing in your power and using who you are to get what you want, not trying to be anything or anyone else. Anyway, I've enjoyed speaking to you. Welcome to the new season. My mic is going to be on fire. We are going to be talking through the year. Changes are coming. But anyway, we'll get into that further down in the year. I'm wishing you all a happy new year, and I'll speak to you in the next episode. I hope this episode gave you exactly what you needed and motivated you to confidently take steps towards your next career move. If you enjoyed it, screenshot and share it on your socials, tag me on Instagram, and come join my community of amazing women working on leveling up their confidence and career. Thanks for listening, and see you next time.